Boom. We are on the air. Holy shit. That one worked. Oh, the other one will not work. Oh, that's right. I gotta start the encoder. Fuck me. All right. I'm gonna fucking start over again. Oh, god damn it. Why does everything have to happen to me? Yeah, it's Wolfman. And, of course, I start with technical difficulties, but that's on purpose, of course. That's part of my show. It's supposed to be funny. You're supposed to laugh at it. Even if I'm really am having technical difficulties and I can't figure anything out, but I've actually did it anyways. I just have to start my encoder on the station right there. Boom. But everything is just wow. I haven't done this for a while, man. What's that say? G.
G-I-F-U.
Well, why are you telling me to fuck off?
Did I tell you to fuck off?
Fuck you, yeah.
No, I did not.
Gee, I fuck you. Hey, you do. Yeah, that's right. I get it. Gee, I fuck you.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part.
Yeah, I have to fucking do that. I forgot how to do this, man. I'm starting. It's like it's not like riding a bike. It really isn't. If you stop, it really takes a long time to get back going again. It really does. Okay, there we go. Fucking servers online there. This can go to here. And boom, we're on the air on MCPRadio 2. So here we go. I'm going to play some music and just try this out, folks. This is the new Echo and the Bunnymen. How do you say that? It's the somnambulist. The somnambulist. Not sure what it means.
New word?
No, it's an old word that he found. I looked it up. I just can't remember what it means. It has a meaning, and it is a word. Somnambulist. It's kind of like expialidocious. Only really smart people know, like the guy from Echo and the Bunnymen. He smokes on stage, by the way. Cigarettes. He doesn't care where he is. This fucker, I saw him in Toronto. He said to everyone, like, you know what? As you can see, and he's smoking a cigarette. I'm smoking in your fucking bar in Canada here. I really don't care if it's illegal. Bring some cops, kick me off fucking stage, and then you won't have a concert. So I'm going to smoke. And then they just went boom and started the concert. And he kept smoking through the whole fucking concert. Yeah, here we go.
Beneath the seabed, magic potions, water. stone, Charlie Clown, no way home. Ringer, dancing horses, whatever they may want. Shiver and say the words, every lie you've heard. First I'm gonna make it, then I'm gonna bring it till it falls apart. Eating all the faking, shaking while I'm breaking your brittle heart. Billy stands all alone, sinking in sand, skin and bone. Bring on headless horses, whatever they may want. Shiver and say the words, every lie you've heard. First I'm gonna make it, then I'm gonna break it till it falls apart. Eating all the faking, shaking while I'm breaking your brittle heart. Brittle heart, brittle heart, brittle heart, and bad little heart. Go on. Jimmy Brown, made of stone, Charlie Cloud, no way home. We are dancing horses, headless and all alone. Shiver and say the words, every lie you've heard. First I'm gonna make it, then I'm gonna break it till it falls apart. Hating all the faking, shaking while you're breaking my brittle heart. Brittle heart, brittle heart, brittle heart, in a little heart. Go on. Bring a new Messiah, whatever he may want. Bring on the new Messiah, whatever he may want. I will want.
Unwrap a Deal is back at Kia. And it's better than ever with no-charge winter tires on our award-winning SUVs, like the adventurous Sportage and the highly capable Sorrento. Both come ready with standard heated features and available Dynamax all-wheel drive to help you get the most out of our Canadian winters. Visit
I
kia.ca
didn't
for
support this
details.
commercial, ladies and gentlemen, and nor did I condone it. It just fucking.
We're going live right now with Autumn and the Wolfman. And hopefully Ronnie Dawson's with us. I'm not sure. We have Barry. Oh my God, from the Red Squatching team. Are you still there, Barry?
Yes, I am.
Oh my God. So,
There he is.
God bless your heart, sir. It's his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Barry.
So
Yeah,
I have
thank
a
you.
psychic
Thank you.
one. So now you're going to get a psychic reading for your birthday.
All right.
Okay. Are you who do you want to do it? Do you want me to do it, or do you want
Autumn's gonna do it.
Autumn, or do you want
You should both do it.
Marijuana Mama to do it?
I want Autumn to do it.
I'm putting Autumn and Ronnie Dawson on together now because he figured out how to do it. Ronnie's pretty smart, so this should put Autumn and Ronnie Dawson on.
Here.
They're trying to get on together here. So okay. I'm trying to get.
Let's hear it.
Autumn Lavelle. Okay. Okay, let me try this again.
I can hear Barry.
Zoom call. Oh, damn. It is not easy.
This is not easy to do when we got people fighting against us to make it
I'm
work.
trying to do this. Holy shit. Okay, I'm trying so hard to get Ronnie and Autumn on the same call.
Do you know how many times we've tried this already? 7 or 8.
Mate, you've been covered my
And every time I'm talking to her, we get disconnected. 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 And every time I try to hear Barry, it's like he's muffled. It's like he has a tissue over his mouth and I'm not allowed to hear what he says or asks or anything.
So,
it's not right.
I'm going to just close this, I guess. What am I supposed to do? It's all fucked. Look, nothing's working. Oh, except, okay, I got this. I got something. Yes!
You got it?
Smart girl. Okay, I got this. I got this. Smart girl. Okay, I think I know what to do now. I know what to do. Ronnie, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Okay, smart girl, man. Autumn. Now I can. Fucking right. Smart girl. Smart girl. Smart girl. Love you, girl.
Hello. Did I get cut?
Now you did it. Yes. Yeah. Smart girl. You figured it out. It's not that easy, you know that? It really isn't.
Hello.
Awesome.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Now you're on with Ronnie Dawson, and everyone should be able to hear you now.
Hello.
Even Barry's here. Barry's here too.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, okay, Barry, what's happening, man?
Hey, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to do an investigation night out. So I got 5 more minutes with you guys.
He's going to do an investigation in 5 minutes. That's what he's telling me, okay?
Wow.
I got 5 minutes left.
Yeah, he's going to do a Sasquatch investigation. You know how hard it is for him to contact me, and the way that the sound comes through. This is real, folks. This is actual real shit.
So he's going into a Sasquatch investigation. Is that what
Yes,
I heard?
that is what I just said.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's leaving right now with his Indian team to go into the fucking woods like a goddamn man, scared shitless because they can throw a tree over sideways if they want to.
Where is he at?
In Nebraska.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
In the middle of the woods.
And it's his birthday. So, okay,
Yeah, that's
what is his reading tonight? Is he going to find something? What did your spirit say?
More about himself.
Okay, go ahead. It's his birthday anyway. What about his children and his woman?
Children and his woman. Huh. If he wants to. Do you want to? Barry? Is he there?
I don't hear him.
Okay.
Barry's not there, hon.
No,
Yeah, I'm here.
Barry's gone. Hello?
I get the feeling somebody's going to swim in.
Hello, I'm here.
Barry? Where are you at? What's your location?
I'm not sure if he's there.
He is?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, what's going on? Wolfman? 47 is going on
I'm
tonight?
fucking here. I'm here. Is Barry here?
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
See, he's there.
What? Oh, he can only hear you.
There's an echo. Anyway,
Ask
so-
Barry where he's at. His location, his exact location.
you can't hear him?
I can hear him, but I don't think he can hear me.
Yes, he can. He can hear you.
Can't hear either one of us.
Everything can hear. I fixed it. You should be able to hear each other now. There's no way it's impossible. It's impossible if you can't.
Somebody's shutting us down.
See? No, he's not responding. Now you talk to him.
Well, you know what? He's talking to me intermittently. His signal spades, and sometimes he gets shut out. And yeah, it happens to me all the time. He's there, he's not there. He's there, he's not there. It's just always happened to me when I talk to Barry.
That's me too.
And it's really weird.
Yeah. How are you?
Who else is here?
Hey, brother.
There he is. See?
Oh, there he is.
Hey, Wolfman, I got to get going. My team's waiting.
Well, you have great luck tonight.
I love you, man. Happy birthday, and thanks so much.
Happy birthday.
I'm sorry. I tried my best to make you get through to the people. We may have to talk offline because it seems like they want to cancel us out, and we're not supposed to be heard. And
Yeah.
they just
Well, that's
keep
all right,
cutting us
brother. Hey,
off,
I'm just glad to hear from you.
They're muffling your voice. They're muffling everything so we can't hear what you're saying.
You can even go online after and listen to the show if you like, and you'll see probably where we can't hear you.
You'll hear what I'm
where
saying.
I'm
I'll
being
send you the link to
frustrated
the show and how frustrating it was for
being
me.
able to listen to you. I feel so ripped off right now for not being able to hear you more clearly, Barry.
Yeah. And it's off my phone.
It's
like,
not.
This is
It's got
ridiculous,
no
man.
reason it should happen. It just did.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I got to run. Love you guys. Peace.
Love you,
Stay in
peace,
touch.
and have the greatest evening yet.
You betcha.
Anyway, you told me that you would be the first good guest on my show for the year, and you were. And you're the first guest I put on my Monster Castle Paranormal website for the year. So you are my first guest for the year.
You bet. Thank you, man. We're honored.
And it's your birthday. That's the first show.
You betcha, man. Hey, listen again. I love you guys. I'll be in touch.
We
All
love
right.
you too.
And you go to your family and have a beautiful birthday, my brother.
All right, man. Right on, brother.
Have fun tonight.
Later.
Okay, goodbye now.
Now I know why. Now I know.
Hello.
Something's trying to stop
Yeah.
us from talking to him.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you that.
Hi, Autumn. You sound fantastic.
You guys, I don't think he wants to be. I don't think he wants to hear what has to be told.
No.
He's living a very like a manly, he's from a place where a lot of men speak and women are not spoken. And so
Actually,
he
no,
want to listen
you
to
don't-
even my voice. I think he wasn't hearing that.
I don't think you understand the way the man.
Yeah, more respect for
he has more
females than
respect
anything.
towards women than most men do because he's tribal, and he actually worship.
give birth,
They
men
worship the
don't.
female, not the male. So
I get
you're,
it, but
you're
I
wrong
still-
about that. You're wrong about that.
Are you sure he just didn't hear me at all?
He
I
just
don't
couldn't
think
hear
he
you.
heard you.
He couldn't hear you. Something was blocking him from hearing you. It should not have happened. Everybody else I've had on this call with the other phone, it works. And that's bullshit. And I don't understand what's going on here.
Okay. I'm
I
just
can't
saying,
hear
I
only one
sometimes
plug
like
yet,
go,
honey.
like especially
How the
when women
fuck?
get
How
to
could we
speak,
hear him?
It's a really crazy thing when it happens.
Well,
Actually,
anyway,
we
I
must
can
have
take live
spooks trying to
calls.
stop us.
Are we on the air?
What's that?
You gotta have some kind of boogly woogly monster trying to stop us.
They are always.
Anyway, we're on the air.
Yes, we are.
And Tiffany's in the chat room.
Who?
So, hi, Tiffany.
Stephanie?
Tiffany's there.
Hi, Tiffany. Sweetheart, she's in the chat room. She's also an alien abductee and a psychic. Very powerful. Hi, sweetheart.
Fine. She's gonna come on?
A-hole skeptic is in there. Yeah. Well, you know what? We just had something really fucked up happen on my show. And we tried to get the information out of the gentleman. And everything got mashed up by goddamn fucking internet mush. And I tried my best to filter it out and stop people from shutting us off. And it kept happening, shutting us off. And Marijuana Mom was right here beside me. And fucking
Happened the whole time we were
all
trying
the
to talk
fucking
to Barry.
whole time.
It was like wah, 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 wah. You couldn't make out anything.
And it was like Charlie Brown.
Yeah, it was Charlie Brown.
You know.
And I love Barry. I really wanted to talk to him and ask him questions. And I did get an answer. He said the Sasquatch do discipline their children. Thank God somebody does.
And he sees UFOs too.
And he's seen UFOs, yes, and I brought up the fact that he's seen it in the northern part of where he lives,
So
north
it's
of
kind
town.
of like, you know, your story, and I told you, Ronnie, that if you've seen UFOs, then you must have seen a Sasquatch too. And then you said, yes, I did. And then you had a big Sasquatch story to tell me. And it's the same thing. He has tons of Sasquatch stories, but he has a few UFO stories too. And now he's got the goddamn fucking orb story the same as mine.
What's the same as yours?
Well, he saw a basketball-sized shaped fucking orb of energy. Looked like a little mini sun. Just floated right up to him. Just the same thing that happened to me. Floated right up to him.
Interesting.
He didn't know what. We don't know. He's going to go to the elders.
Yeah.
He has to go to the elders and ask them about it. The only thing he knows. Only thing he knows.
Much younger. So.
He's never asked the elders about this before. I told him it's will of the wisps from the Celtic. You know, that's what I call it, will of the wisps. But I don't know what they are. If they're good, evil, or bad. I don't know. All I know is they fucking exist.
It's energy. I see them too, just not that color. I want to.
God. No, this thing was emulating so much power. It looked like a firefly, and then it just went, psh, and it just went into like a basketball-sized shaped fireball, red. And it just floated there in front of me. It moved a little bit towards me. I thought about putting my hand into it, and I thought, no. I got really scared, and I ran. I ran down the road on my farm, and I looked back, and the fucking thing is still floating there at the end of the woods, and I know it wasn't a fucking goddamn hallucination. It was real.
Yeah.
It was fucking real.
Yeah.
I could still see it there. Like, I go around the side of the fucking kiln and go peekaboo, and it's still there. So, yeah, it's real.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fun.
Okay, now tell everybody a little bit, since Barry's gone, tell Ronnie a little bit about how your psychic intuitions started coming to yourself, and how you came to the conclusion that you may have abilities above and beyond.
I think the only thing that I could really ever tell people to like hone in, or what I'm honing on, is just meditation and like elevating yourself to your own feelings, your own experience, and asking yourself things and letting your body answer, kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't know if there's really. I don't know if there's an answer for what you just asked me, but that's what I have to give. Is if you want to learn more, meditate and ask yourself questions and hone in through your dreams or through your existence while you're meditating, or while you're out in beautiful nature, because it will answer back.
Because you know what? That's what Wolfman did for me yesterday. He does meditating in his own way, and we did it together, and for some reason today I feel 10,000 times better.
Yeah.
Just for meditating once in my entire life made a world of difference. I gave all my struggles, all my sorrows, all my anger, all my frustrations to God.
This is just a rerun.
Said I can't hold it no more. Please take it away. And we sat and we just what's the word I'm looking for? Meditated for a few minutes, and today
fuck you guys, it's just a fucking rerun.
Just to meditate, and he calls it Mushin.
State of no mind.
State of no mind.
No mind, no thought. No stress. No mind, no thought, no stress.
Yes.
So if you bring yourself to that state of thought, then you can actually excuse yourself from the world for a little while and not have stress, not have any guilt, anything. You know what I told her? And I taught her something very important. Only if you have guilt, that is what makes you a good person. People without guilt
are evil,
have no soul and no fucking heart at all. That they are evil. So if you have guilt, that makes you good. That makes you a good person if you have guilt.
Yeah, because you're thinking about the people before yourself a little bit, but I don't feel like guilt is the way of the world because I feel guilt is very led by religion. But they were trying to do something.
No. If you have guilt, that means you have a conscience. That means you feel sorry for something. You have empathy. Otherwise, you have nothing.
Yeah, well, but empathy is only part of it, right?
Yeah, that's true. But yes, you don't want to start it. Like I don't want to say sorry, right? Because if you're saying sorry, that means I did something wrong. So I'd rather not have to do that.
Yeah,
it's bad karma.
Yeah, well, of course. Like, I mean, your true intentions will always come back in source, right? Is that what you're saying? Like, I mean...
Yeah, we're talking metaphysical here, so...
Live your life that if you do good things, they come back to you, right?
That's right, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, I don't want to have to say sorry. So, that means...
Well, yeah, the same way, but, you know, the world doesn't think that way, and not everybody thinks that way. Well,
but we still make mistakes. We're only human. I yell. Sometimes I might yell at someone. I yelled at them because I thought, "Damn it, you didn't listen to me. I tried to help you," and then I yelled.
Yeah.
Now, even though I was trying to help, I still yelled at the person. It's still wrong.
Yes. But.
Then you have to say sorry. I hate that. You have to say sorry when you do something bad.
Yeah,
so I try not to have to say sorry.
The karma of my sorry. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean to get in front of you. I'm sorry. I'm an over sorrier. So maybe my karma's better? Is that what you're saying, both men?
Do you know, girl, you're so excited to talk to me. I believe that you have something very important to say.
I don't know if I do.
I think you do. I think you do. So have you done some psychic readings for people? Have you started your own business yet?
No, not really. No.
I urge you to do that. Okay.
You think I should go on business?
Have you tried the tarot yet?
Well, yeah. I love the tarot.
You use the tarot?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna give you a card in my head. Now tell me what card I'm thinking of.
I don't know.
Open your. Remember Mushin, state of no thought. So just don't even think about anything, and it's the first thought that comes in your head. So don't think about anything. Now I am gonna throw this on.
Jesus, spades.
Let me do it. Don't say nothing.
Here.
Don't influence this. Okay, I'm gonna.
The thing that comes to my mind is the eyeball and the triangle. So
it's not a. It's an upside down man. What card is it? It's an upside down man. What card is it?
Upside down and the Fool?
Yeah, I don't know if it is. He's just busy for a minute. No, it's not, he says. Hangman, upside down, he says.
Not the Fool. I don't know. Just tell me.
Now, she read my mind when I was just giving her little finger signals. If you saw my face, you would be able to read my mind.
Probably.
Yeah, it's good. We're damn good psychics. You're fresh off the pot, girl. We can teach you. You're with us. We love you. All right.
What does that
Okay.
mean? What is
Now I'm gonna give you a color. Now close your mind. Think about
Okay.
nothing. Think about the nothingness of the universe. There's absolute nothingness. Nothing. You're in a black abyss. There's nothing in your head. Nothing in your head. Nothing in your head. Nothing in your head. Nothing in. Now I'm gonna send you a color. What color is it?
Well, I don't know if it's the right color, but you've been sending me blue colors for a while, so energetically without asking.
Oh, sorry, but that wasn't the color. That's my eyes. Stop looking at my eyes. I'm sending you a psychic color in your head. Don't look at my eyes. Here's the color. What color is it?
I would say yellow.
Purple.
No, I didn't see purple.
I seen purple.
The color was purple. But
I didn't
the weirdest thing is the opposite of purple is yellow.
There's no opposite
What?
of purple.
Yeah, that's a fucked up thing. If you go on the color wheel, purple and yellow are opposites on the color wheel. So when I thought purple, somebody that's dyslexic could actually think yellow.
Or someone who sees outside of your own perspective.
Yeah, in the fourth dimension. Purple and yellow are the same color in the fourth dimension.
Or really it's only a color because of light, but yes.
This is a great show. So much thanks for coming on, girl.
Yeah.
It's such a pleasure. And Ronnie, are you still there?
I'm still here,
Who?
sir.
Oh my God, Ronnie Dawson's here too. So, you know
Ronnie.
what? You know what? He just got out of the hospital. He needs healing energy. So
Okay.
let's give him a psychic reading too.
And or healing energy through the phone.
He just got out of the hospital, man. He had to go to the freaking UFO Congress thing.
Conference.
After just getting out from, was it gallbladder surgery?
Yeah, they had to remove it. 2 days into my vacation.
What?
Yeah, what a soldier is that?
I've had a gallbladder attack.
And he
that was
still
so
goes to the
painful.
UFO fucking convention.
Oh yeah, now I'm going to be on NBC. It's going to be on First Look here in the next, I think September, a new season. And they got
Now that's a
Johnny
fucking champion.
Johnny Bananas is the host of the show now, and they did a panel, experiencers panel, and I got to sit on.
See, we ain't fucking around here, folks. This is the Wolfman and Ronnie Dawson. Like, the real shit, man. It's our fucking show, man. Our fucking show, right, Ronnie?
The extreme paranormal.
Extreme paranormal. That's
It's
right.
very poorly produced.
Very poorly produced. Fuck y'all.
That's our hallmark.
It's real, though. We ain't lying to you. It's real news. That's what you tell your mom and dad. You say, hey, why are you watching that stupid news? And they tell you, well, the news is on. Come and watch it with us. Say, fuck that. I got my own fucking news. And then what's that? My own fucking show, man. Fuck you. Right, Ronnie?
That's right.
That's funny. It really is funny. Ronnie, I pulled a card out of my deck and it says that you are vulnerable.
Of course, he's a targeted individual.
Why are you so vulnerable?
I don't know. I've had a hell of the last month. My
He's
mother is actually dying of cancer as we speak. So
Oh, that is vulnerable. I'm sorry.
What we need to do is use our spells as psychics and just heal him. What I did for my woman here is I asked for monatomic gold flakes from heaven to come and just heal her. Like the founder of youth. And it worked. And I saw him hit her tonight. And I saw it happening. She's
Sprinkle
freaked right
all
out.
over me.
They sprinkled all over tonight. And
yeah, we could use some miracles. So if you believe,
no, I can do
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Well, I can bring that. I can bring that recipe down there. So now I am going to ask right on the air for monatomic gold particles from heaven to come and rain on my friend Ronnie Dawson and heal him. Heal him. Angel Michael, heal him. Jesus heal him. Mother Mary heal him. Mother Sophia heal him. Mother Gaia heal him. Everything in heaven heal him. All of the aliens heal him. Bring those little spectacles of fucking healing energy like the fucking fountain of youth to my friend. And let it rain on him. Let it rain on my friend. Rain on him. Heal that man. He needs your healing now. Come down for... Fuck yeah. Come down. Amen. Ra. Come down now. What do you say to that?
I appreciate it.
Can't hear a word.
Well, that's my shaman. See, I did a shaman prayer for you. And they tried to cut me off. Isn't that fucked?
Yeah, I see Earth Green popped in early.
I can't believe they tried to cut us off, man. When
We're
I
gonna
did a
have to
shaman.
go off there. This is too freaky to
It's freaking me right out, man. I can't believe that. I tried to do a shaman prayer. So, you know, and they try to cut me off. So I'm bringing some music up to stop them.
I just pulled the shape-shifting card at that.
What is going on here?
Shape-shifting.
Okay, so somebody's shape-shifting now, girl. Who is doing that now? Little girl down the hill now. What you telling the old man? You talk to me now.
Getting off air.
Wolfman here. What?
They're getting off air.
I'm on.
Hey, we gotta get off. Look, it's almost over.
I don't know that. How do you know that?
I have a feeling. Time's almost up, or has been up for a while.
I don't see that much. Look. 15 minutes left now. 15 minutes left in the show. Mr. Kurt Green, are you there? Well, why? How's this working? I didn't add him. Hello, Mr. Kurt Green. Who's there?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, Autumn's here. That's all we want to talk to right now. Miss Autumn.
Marijuana Mama.
And Marijuana Mama, that's right. Two psychics. They're not going to get cut off this time. Bubble of energy around you. Talk to the psychic. That's it. You talk to the psychic. I am going to keep the bubble of energy around you so you don't get cut off. Now talk to the psychic.
She's the only one I've been able to hear all night.
Now do it.
Hello.
Hi, do you know anything about the porthole that's near Lake Erie here in Ontario?
Let
heard
me.
anything about it?
No, let me manifest on it for a second, or let me just like hone in on it. Is it like supposed to be a portal to like the middle of the earth? Is that the idea of it?
It's more like a porthole for UFOs to come through, to come and spy on us, take pictures of us, videotape us.
You're on the air.
Monitor us, everything.
Hello?
Okay, we're taking the call. Just shush for now. Just listen.
Is this that?
That's okay. You're on with us. Just listen for a second. We're doing a psychic reading at the moment.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. No, she has too. Just listen for a moment, sir. We have another call. Go.
Am I talking?
Who is this?
It's Dennis.
Hi, Dennis.
Dennis is here too. Now, wait, I don't want Dennis for you to interrupt the psychic reading that Autumn was just doing for Marijuana Mama because it's very.
Yeah, no. I want to.
Are you going to add to it? All right, go ahead. It is the Dream Master, so I'm going to trust you.
Can't hear anything. I'm serious. I can't hear anybody.
Listen.
But
There's a huge overlap. I'm going to try to call back.
Only one word.
I'm going to hang out like crazy. Let me try to call back.
Can you hear us?
No, call back. Hey.
Now I can hear you. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, is Dennis there? Dennis is gone.
Is that better?
Yep.
Dennis is gone.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, but Dennis is gone.
Well, that's okay. It doesn't matter. The psychic
So the
is
middle of
still
the
there.
way. Let's talk about the middle of the earth.
You know what really
Well,
is
actually,
important
there's
is
a
that
portal.
Autumn, I was trying to get a hold. Autumn is our second guest, okay? So I don't really care about the other people. They're just callers. Right now, I'm talking to Autumn. She's our second guest tonight.
Okay.
Yes, and she's important. Just like Ronnie Dawson or anyone else, Autumn is very important to me. She's one of the people I helped her train into realizing she's fucking psychic. How did it help you?
Well, we've been on shows together and talked together, for sure.
Remember how scared you were to first do your first reading?
Well, yeah, it's always scary to talk about, like, what you think you know or what you should know or what you don't know, you know?
Exactly. And I just told you, just go with it, because Darren already told me that you're very, very psychic. I said, just go with it. I was terrified, too, on my first reading. And what happened when you did your first freaking reading for someone, and then you actually pegged it? How did that make you feel?
Well, yeah, I've done it a lot. It feels good. It feels really good. It's actually, I don't make any, like, money reward. It's just the reward of knowing.
Of course.
That person's in their heart, you know?
Neither do I. I don't either.
No.
It's just a karma thing.
Yeah.
It makes you feel nice as a person.
It's good. It's good. It's
like,
what's happening.
Contributing to society in a positive way.
Hopefully, yes.
That's damn right.
Yeah.
To the community.
I hope.
Now, I like to contribute to the community I'm in. Like, so. I bring down bastards.
Like,
if there's bastards to bring down, I'll take them down. I do it psychically. You can ask my girl. You should see the way I do it. I don't really have to do much. I just use my mind, and then it all happens.
Well, I mean, I always tell people, I'm like, you can love people from afar. You can wish good things from afar. You don't have to be in existence to care or love or send good energy to someone or be in the existence of good energy with somebody. So,
okay. The horrible thing I do is guilt.
Is what?
Guilt.
Oh, why?
I can take everyone's guilt from everything they've done in their life and just show it to them in their mind, and just I can make them cry. Yeah, make them cry.
Yeah.
And it hurts real bad, but I didn't do nothing because it's the truth. It's just the truth. I didn't do nothing. That's white magic, right?
It's mirroring.
But it hurts, son of a bitch, fucking bad. Stings them out. They think I'm evil. I'm not evil. I just showed you the truth.
Yeah, it's called mirroring.
You did. It's your own guilt.
Right.
So it's horrible, but it hurts. But then it teaches people to be nicer. When they see the way that my white magic works, then they realize there's a better way to do things.
Being nice works.
Yeah.
It does. It's so weird.
It is fucked up, but Wolfman's showing you now. Have to do these things now, alright? You know, you get this one now. You don't need to walk up the hill and fall back down now.
We're telling you, Don.
Keep walking up that one hill. The old man, you know what? The old man can walk up the hill and chop the head off of the one on top anytime now.
Oh boy.
Shouldn't talk like that. Shouldn't talk like that. Shouldn't talk like that.
Go ahead. If you can do better, do it.
Wolfman actually knew that we were going to be broken in by who before it even happened.
You were what?
Wolfman actually knew who was going to break into our house, and He even knew who it would be before it even happened.
Wow.
He called it on. He even told the cops that it would be them, and he tell them where. He didn't tell them when. He just told them the name of who and what they would do. And then 5 days later, it all came true. And then 2 days after that, I got videotape of who it was, and it was actually 25-year-old so-called friends I considered family to me.
And the people I named out.
And they were the same people that he named out. Exact same people.
Interesting.
You just set some bear traps.
We sure did, or he did.
A little foggy.
Pardon?
I said a little foggy. Perception. I just pulled a card of fog, but I felt like that was also like in sequence with your story. So.
What was the card?
Fog.
What's fog?
Fog and Veld is the card.
What does it mean?
Like clouded vision.
Fog. Like fog.
How could it be clouded vision if we caught who it was?
You are not seeing.
No, I don't know what
what's
she
really
means.
there. They're trying to obscure your fucking view and mask it off as something else. Am I correct?
Yes.
Sorry, I don't like to.
I don't get it. No, that don't make no sense to me.
But yes,
Yeah,
this
like
is one of my powerful psychic friends. That
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get what fog in my situation means at all.
It means you were being led into a direction that telling you something, and they using your mental incapabilitation that to use you and manipulate you into something else. And I've already told you the whole story. Now do you get it?
Nope.
That's what the same thing is. She's telling you that you've been manipulated by people. Manipulated.
Maybe that
You
makes sense.
pulled the
That
rug
makes
underneath
sense.
your fucking. Pulled the rug underneath you, okay?
Yeah.
Told you it's this way, and then you open the door and there's no fucking way out, and you fall down.
Yeah.
You know, like they fucked you over.
Yeah.
They tricked you.
Now I see where you feel fog, because that's actually
that's
the
fog.
negativity
That
I'm
is what
feeling
fog
from
is.
everything happening
You
to me.
understand that? Yeah, that's what fog is. Fog is fog.
Who's that?
Just tell me.
That'd be me.
Hi, Dennis. What happened
Hold on.
to you?
Hey,
Fog means confusion. That's what Tiffany from Goddess of Love says. Fog means confusion.
yeah, it's alright. Everything alright, man.
And so did Ronnie say that too. They both said that. So Ronnie and Tiffany both said fog means confusion.
Yeah, it
I'm
does present that.
bewildered because of it. I have never thought I'd be stabbed in the back
That's
so
two
fucking hard.
Two people in the chat room fucking both said, and I trust them both. They both
You know what?
fuckies. They both said the same fuck thing. Fog
You know-
means confusion. They're
Yeah,
trying
you
to
know what?
pull the fucking wool over your eyes, right?
Yeah,
Right, Dennis?
you know what? Fog brings to me. It's a losing of ground. You're losing the ground, and
That's right.
again,
We're
yes,
not
you
gonna-
become
we're not gonna
confused,
let that
so
happen
you
to
cannot
my girl.
balance anymore.
We ain't letting that happen to her. We're here to make changes on this show. We don't just examine it. We're here to fucking. We're a bunch of clowns, eh? So it's comedy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but real things happen.
So fog
oh yeah.
to me,
Real things happen to real people.
Yeah, that's right. It's comedy.
fog to me means stagnant.
Whatever.
I don't get that. Everything you say, I don't get.
Stagnant?
Yeah, like what does that mean?
What?
Stagnant means that you have been doing the same things that are like in the same repetitive patterns that aren't serving you.
Over and over.
For a long time, for many years, over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
Everything she said is absolutely true.
And you're absolutely right.
It's the same things I told her. I honestly told her this goddamn, and so did Dennis. The honest truth is, Dennis and I both told her the same goddamn thing. So thank God, a woman.
You know what it is? You know. Okay, Mama.
You know?
Yeah.
A lot of people come to me, right, for like confirmation, affirmation, whatever, because they really don't like to hear what I have to say. Okay, because what I mention is truth, right?
Okay.
What I see. Okay. And again, I am not one to candy coat. All right. I do not do that. I might withhold information, right?
Yeah,
but I will not. I say it straight out.
It is impossible.
Shh, please, let me hear this. He's talking to me.
And actually, he's getting to a point
my
for
God,
a change. So
you can't make
ahead,
a point if you're talking.
Go ahead, sir.
No, I'm done.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
Do you cut him off again? Thanks a fuck of a
cutting
lot.
off. Go ahead, sir.
Stop drinking beer.
Oh my
Maybe you
God.
wouldn't cut people
Shut
off.
the fuck up. Go ahead, sir.
I'm getting high
No,
and resting.
I lost my train. My train went off track.
Okay, come on.
So it doesn't matter.
Honey, that was joking.
It makes
She
sense.
just, she just ran away from this. Oh my God.
No, I know
She's gonna drive away again on me.
No, don't
She's
get
really mad.
don't let her get
I'm
upset,
blaming
man.
on you, sir.
Yo, I'm not mad at Dennis. I'm pissed at you because he was telling me something and now his mind forgot what he was going to say.
I know, but relax, please.
You don't get no more beer.
People come to me. Okay, this is what I was going to say.
Please tell me, Dennis. I can
just
barely
said my
plug
Right.
these
People-
earplugs
people-
fast enough to hear you.
People come to me for confirmation, affirmation. I'm not going to tell them how to live their life, but I will tell them how I can see they can do it differently. And you know, I understand that you guys are you're going through this situation down there, and I was talking with you and Mike the other day.
Yeah.
In regards to this, and I think what you're doing is 100% proper, correct, and I wouldn't do anything differently.
No, I think you
And-
really handled it. Hey, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Thanks a lot. I was talking to Dennis and you cut me off. 'Cause you don't give a fuck about me at all.
Dennis, how are you?
Anyway, I was just saying.
We're not doing another show. You know, fucking free.
I never wanted much, but a woman like you, a little healing touch, enough to get me through. But I was hard to love. Some days I didn't know how. A little blood in every cut. Feels like we're drowning now. You know the best all's gonna stay. We're still burning, keep the engine turning. No, we still got a long way. You know the best things don't come easy. They're in a rush, baby, take it slow. Shake off the dust if you're coming with me. Still got a long way to go. Long, we still got a long way to go.
I don't know. Pokemon Shadow.
Welcome to the Monster Castle Radio Show. For the extreme paranormal listener. And here is your host, the Wolfman, Mike.
Oh yeah, this is where the real freaks hang out, alright, yeah! Let's hear some rock and roll, baby, yeah!
Yeah, we're back. We are back. And I got my my awesome loyal panel with me here. The Four Horsemen are here. Can you guys howl? Oh my lord, there's a monster in the house. So tonight's second half of the show, or this is a different show, we're just going to talk. I think the start of this show is going to be about shadow people. Is Jeff there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right on, buddy.
I've got a shadow person story for you.
I'm jumping in for a sec just to let you guys know that,
I actually am here. Yeah, I'm here. Hello? Yeah, it's Jeff there. You're not there? Oh, hello, Jeff. Are you there? Is Jeff there? Hello? Okay, yeah, we are live. This is Wolfman. I haven't got my calls or anything ready. I haven't got any lines. I just got some archives playing right now for tonight, but I am live. I'm just checking out my feed and checking out. Wow, I'm so happy to have people listening already. I can't believe it this time of night. So I just sent a tweet out to Tommy Chong. I want him to hear the station. He's a Canadian, so hopefully he answers my tweet. I'm going to try tweeting him again. I advise all of my fans to do the same and tell Tommy Chong that we want an interview with him. And yeah, it would be really good for him to hear me. He'll probably fire Cheech. Because you know, I could do that voice too, you know, like, you know, you don't really need Cheech, you know. Like, man, like, yeah, like, I don't need Cheech, man. I don't even like the guy, man. Like, I'd rather do the show with you, Mike. Like, yeah, man. Far out, man. I dig it, man. Like, yeah, man. We could have ego instead to electrocute people. Wouldn't you like rather to electrocute, and I could cut people with chainsaws and it is, yes, it was reruns. Yes, remember that, and it's all fake, It's never
really
live.
creeping me out because it's kind of a creepy story. I'm hearing some voices in my backyard. Okay, keep going.
I mean, rats freaking me out. Guess what? That freaked me out. So I tilt my head up, and I look at the rat cage, and I look over at the door, because my bed was across the room from the door, and then the rat cage was on the opposite wall, between the door and the bed. I look over, and there's some light coming in through the window, not a whole lot, just some moonlight, and you see this. And you hear these like soft footsteps on the carpet. I mean, it's that quiet. And you see like this 3-foot, the only way I could describe it is like a 3-dimensional like shadow. It's like a shadow that had depth to it, had dimension to it.
It had weight to it.
And you look, it had weight, you could hear it. And guess what? It looks over, and I'm not kidding you, it's got red eyes. I mean, these were red, like glowing eyes.
This was in your room or right in your bedroom?
It's right in the bedroom, and the rat's freaking out. I'm like, what the? And I just sat up, and I was just like, and I just yelled at like the top of my lungs, like, get out of here. Because I didn't know what else to do.
Did you stay there?
I yelled, get out of there, and I ran up, and I just ran over to the light and turned it on, and it was gone.
Did you tell your parents?
Nope. It was just too freaky. I mean, this was something that just...
Did you ever tell them later?
No.
How old were you then again?
I was 9 years old. I mean, so it wasn't just... I know it wasn't me, like, freaking out, It's like an animal heard it, too. But it walked from, like, the door towards, like, the rat cage that I had. It didn't walk towards me, which was kind of strange.
It's checking out your pet rat.
Oh, man.
It knew it was coming.
It freaked it out. It freaked out the rat.
What was your rat's name?
His name was Ray.
Ray the rat. Was it a white and black one?
Or you can call me Jay.
It was a white one with red eyes.
Maybe it had red eyes too.
It had red eyes too. It was like a
yeah, man. When I wake up in the morning, I've got their red eyes too, man.
Different kind of red eyes. But that's something, I mean, I'll never forget. That just...
I had rats too. I loved rats. Rats are good pets.
Yeah.
And they're good eating too.
Good on his
tastes
right?
Great.
Like on that old show.
Have you guys, when you were hey, I got a really cool thing. You can still do this, but when I was a kid, we used to play a game called Faces and Features. And we used to go inside, actually it was a doghouse, and you could shut the door and it was completely black, dark in there. And just sit down and stare at either one person, or it could be 3 people all staring at the person next to each other. But it works better when you just stare at one person straight on, face to face, and then you ask a question: can I see the faces and features of, say, Elvis Presley? And it's amazing what happens if you just sit there staring. All of a sudden, you see Elvis Presley.
You mean when your eyes start adjusting to the dark?
Because there's no light at all. There is no light. So you just start seeing things. Your mind starts just creating things.
Weird.
It's almost like an isolation box. If you can cut the light completely out. Like we had this place so that there was absolutely no light. It was complete darkness.
Yeah, see, my room wasn't like that, man. It was, moonlight coming through. There was some light under the door. You know?
That's a
I believe it. I believe it.
It's a great story.
No, yeah.
You guys want to hear a similar story?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I never really thought about it being like a shadow person story, but there was one time I was backpacking up in Pennsylvania, and we were like, I was with my girlfriend, we were like 5 miles from the nearest road, out in the middle of the woods. And we're in the tent, and it's pitch black. There's no moon. And I hear this noise, and I'm thinking, it's probably a skunk or something outside, a raccoon. And so I just opened up the tent, and I looked out, and I saw this, glowing, and I thought it was eyes, right? And it was kind of greenish, just very faint. And I'm staring at it, and it's only about 4 feet away. And so I get my flashlight, and I shine it out there, and there's nothing there. And so the flashlight kind of ruined my night vision, so I didn't see it. I turned the flashlight out, and I didn't see it. But then I go, a few minutes later, I go back and look, and it's there again. It's like something is there that's glowing. And I was getting freaked out, like what this could be. So eventually, the next morning, I get out and I'm looking exactly where I was staring, and there was a root that was rotten, and it had, this is the best explanation I have. It had some sort of glowworms or something, maybe, because it was rotting, and it was like bioluminescence. But it's, my mind, it just plays tricks on you. You see eyes. If something's glowing, it just freaks you out.
Could have been green lichen maybe or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes I get bioluminescence on my armpits.
We know.
Maybe not. Just kidding.
Have you guys ever seen auras around people? Stare at another person in the light?
Yeah.
And then see their aura?
I have.
Yeah, it's
Once
really
in a while
cool.
I can see that. I found
different people have different colors around them.
I actually have a technique on how to put myself into that frame of mind where I can see that. And it's by shutting my eyes almost all the way, but leaving them open just slightly. So just this weird bit of distorted light I can see, right? And I just do that for a while, and I kind of meditate and try to put myself to sleep, but leave my eyes just partially open. And then all of a sudden you'll just explode, and you'll see all these weird colors and shit. It'll start just freaking you right out. Then you can see it's almost like you're seeing like a bat. You can see without your eyes open, you can shut your eyes and see. But it's all in weird energy, kind of electrical looking shit. I've been in that zone before a few times, yeah. It's hard to get into that zone, though.
Yeah, I guess different auras mean different things, different colors. I'm not an expert.
When I was training martial arts, we did the blindfolded sparring, and that's how I first encountered that.
Well, that'd be a challenge.
Yeah, well, somebody's kicking and punching at you and you're blindfolded, right? After a while, you start seeing shit, and it's weird. and you can just feel it when someone's going to go kick you. And then you start noticing that sort of like an electrical outline around, and it's like black and white sort of, but you can still sort of see.
And you probably pick up more on the sounds too.
No, not at all. It's just like a feel, like an electrical feel. Like I can feel the static energy from the other person's body, like the electrical field. Yeah. It's electrical.
Do you think that's where we got this Pokemon idea? Maybe the cameras can pick up little entities?
How the fuck do they do that, eh? That's weird.
What, Pokemon?
Are we really we're gonna jump from shadow creatures to Pokemon? Really, man? Okay.
Hey, you gotta
but this Pokemon Go game could possibly create shadow people.
Midgets.
I went Pokemon going with my kids, and it's amazing, Mike.
You do it?
So we would go down to the river, and imagine this: there's 200 people, just all along the river, all peaceful, and they're all sharing information about which Pokemon's arriving, wherever. And every once in a while, there'll be like a rare Pokemon, and everyone will rush to the area. And there's mostly like 18 to 23-year-olds, but there's also families. There's little kids dressed up in like Pikachu, and it's like Halloween down there. And everybody's peaceful.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Oh, it took over the park. All the homeless people are down there. They're loving it, of course.
That's kind of cool. It's getting people out and when they're out, like they will, even though they're staring at their phones most of the time.
Yeah, but they talk too.
Yeah, they don't have to stare at you. It's not a kind of game, is it, that you have to keep staring at the screen?
No, because your phone will vibrate and there's like a Pokemon in the area, and then all of a sudden there'll be like a murmur over the crowd, and they'll start yelling which Pokemon, and everyone will move towards it. I mean, they've caused traffic jams in major cities.
That's funny. I like that.
It's really insane. It's weird. I wonder how long it'll stay popular. I work at the hotel, and there's a gym like right around the corner, so people are always pulling up into the zone. And they're like, I go, "Are you checking in?" And they're like, "No, we're Pokemon hunting." And I go, and if it's slow enough, I'll go catch it and get back. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, down the road. They had one of the strip clubs advertising they had Pokemon in there.
God. You want to fuck Pokemon?
I have no idea what's going on.
Strip club Pokemon. Oh, wow. Sounds like...
What happens is some of the gyms just get generated in different locations. That's why some people are so furious. My boss has a gym like right outside of his house, and there's people out there all the time. It drives them nuts. So it's kind of a random thing where they generate sometimes, and other times I don't really get it. But I was really surprised how many kids are down there, and it was nice. There's no drinking. It wasn't like in the 70s, like when we'd go out or go cruise the gut or something. It's just a bunch of drunk people. I mean, the kids today, at least the ones that I know that are my kids' friends and all those Pokemon people, they're really good kids. It's nice to see. But I was thinking, where's the future of this? I mean, this is just one game where everyone's playing. Could you imagine a game where everyone plays, but then you actually interact with each other? Or like have fake fights, or like a sword fight, kind of like Boffring or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or like a D&D or something.
Well, yeah, or like a D&D. I mean, I bet that this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Or a scary game where you have to, where you hear crashing, and all of a sudden you get to this spot, and then it just, something crazy happens, and you hear all this, and you die, you got strangled or whatever.
They'll be
I'm going to call it Pokemon Ghost. That's what you're going to call it.
Yeah, there you go. And they scare the crap out of you. Yeah, your phone starts just buzzing, and it says, "Kill, kill, kill." And then it puts a microwave signal into your brain so that you start just killing people. Who knows?
I can just imagine the games that are coming down the pipe, though.
Well, they wouldn't want to do that.
Get the people interacting with each other, like fighting each other or forming groups or gangs. Who knows what'll happen?
Okay, I'm gonna try playing another of these Blueheads.
This one's my favorite.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna try playing. It's a song called Rolling. This is Rolling by the Blueheads. Hope everybody enjoys it. That didn't work out good. Somebody trying to Skype dial me while I'm playing a song and screwed this right up. Never thought of that.
You, but you always deny me. I need you to keep me
back.
I'm back.
Yeah, I think I gotta put my phone on. I was playing that out of my phone so you guys could hear it through the board. I'm gonna have to put it on airplane mode because it actually disrupted the song and started. I don't know what happened with our Skype, but you guys tried to dial and it came through on my phone while I was.
Oh crap!
Yeah, well, I have to remember to put that on airplane mode so it doesn't affect anything.
Are we still on, Mike?
Oh yeah, we're on. We just played the Blueheads.
Right on. That's good. I heard part of it, but then the power went out here. So.
Oh, is that what happened? Because all of a sudden it started dialing back at me.
Yeah, the power went out, so I lost connection.
Yeah, I lost connection too there for a sec. Hopefully the music was still playing.
Oh yeah, that all worked. So that's good that it happened while the song was playing, actually. Okay, I want to talk to Jeff a little bit more about this shadow thing he saw. I want him to hear some of the shit I've seen when I was a kid. How old were you then?
I was 9 when I first met the first one I saw. I've seen others before that, but not shadow. They were a little different.
Yeah. Okay. First things we saw, I was always at my grandmother's house when we stayed over there, and our parents dropped us off for the week or the weekend or whatever. And we always had that. Or summer holidays, we'd be dropped at my grandparents and stay there for the whole summer sometimes.
He's
one
lying.
of
He's
us,
a big fibber.
or two of us, you know.
Wolfman always
there was
lies
5
about
kids, so.
everything.
But anyway, we were down in the basement. It was
different.
We were just watching an old black and white TV, and there was a kind of they had a kitchen and a living room down in their basement too, so it was kind of nice. But the little basement windows were high up, and I think it was my brother first noticed this face in the window looking in on us. And this thing had red eyes too. And we were shitting our pants. This thing, it looked like some kind of ape face. And it was staring in through at the window. And we're screaming upstairs and said, there's a face in the window. They come down, check it out, and there's nothing there. And all right, we were just imagining it. And
was this at night?
Yeah, it was at night, yeah.
That's probably because
it
was
was at night.
Man.
It was dark outside, so. And then it happened several times after that, the same face in the window thing. And it wasn't
Did
just...
your grandma ever see it?
No, just us kids. All of the kids seen the same thing, though.
Did she believe you?
Yeah, because all the kids were saying the same thing. At different, and not even at the same time. Like sometimes there was 2 different kids from the family there, and they had the same pretty much experience as the other 2 kids. So they were saying almost, yeah, that's why they believed it. So, and there was stuff in the upstairs, and when we went in the upstairs of the house by ourselves, nobody would go up there. When the house, even in the daytime, no one would go out in the upstairs. None of us kids would. We were terrified to go up there. Into the upper bedrooms.
Was it like an attic?
Yeah. Sometimes we'd hear voices or we'd see objects. Like a ball or a ball of thread from her sewing machine would just drop off and then roll across the floor, and no one's up there.
That's freaky.
That's creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you find it? Was there any history to the house?
I wish they would have kept it, but they sold it. But it's in Aylmer, Ontario, and it's one of the right on the edge by the farming area. So it was like a real farming, like pioneer area.
So it's an old house.
Yeah, it's an old house.
Was it by a cemetery?
No, not this one. This was in town. There was a tree there that one time my brother and I were outside playing, and the tree branches actually bent and formed into a face and tried talking to us. It was freaky. and it was like the face of an Indian, like a Native American. It was really creepy, but we couldn't understand what it said. No.
That's a great story.
It's not over yet. This story is not. It's far from finished. After that, the faces in the window. I think that's in the wood. It kept going on, and then we started seeing this monster in our dreams. This ape creature monster with big fangs and red eyes. And we started seeing it in our dreams, even when we came home from the farm.
What do you mean we? All the kids?
Yeah, my brother and I, and I'm not sure if my older brother, but my younger sister too.
Jeff, did you ever have nightmares about your shadow person?
No, I've had a couple other less friendly experiences. I've been like held down before.
Yeah, I've had that
by an invisible. I mean, just laying down there, and all of a sudden you feel yourself being like pressed into the bed, and you're just like, "What is this?" Quiet, and it just feels,
And you're just terrified, right?
Evil. Yeah. You
can't even scream.
You can move, but you don't want to. Yeah,
you can't even scream. You're so scared. That's what I felt. But then, what happened was it escalated to the point where my grandmother actually went and got the Catholic Church involved. My mother and my grandmother went and talked to the priest in town, and they actually came and assessed the property. Were you
there to see that?
Yeah, I actually wanted everything to do with it. I actually assisted the priest. I asked him everything. I wanted to assist him, and I was just little, but I actually assisted him doing it. He let me, and he showed me how to do it, and he showed me what to do. Well, we went around the whole property, around the outside of the hedge and everything, to the front yard, and way around all around the property. And spread holy salt and said prayers as we did it. Anyone can do this.
Holy salt?
Yeah.
Never heard of holy salt.
Yeah, that's what they use for that. They bless the salt, and that's what they use to ward off the evil. Yeah, the Catholic Church will give you holy salt if you need it.
I've never heard of that. I grew up Catholic. That's
well,
cool.
No, that's part of the church that they don't really like to tell everyone about. It's just like exorcisms.
Yeah,
they keep it under wraps because. But if you ask for it,
I was good friends with one of the chaplains of the entire East Coast, and I would share with him these stories, and he would say, "Yeah, you're not the only one that had stories like this," and he was really interested because it's something that they take pretty serious, because if someone's surrounded by or seeing stuff like this, that's something they're concerned with. I don't know. It's
Have you ever seen anything in the ER that was a miracle?
No, I've not really. I think there's some people that come in there and they're probably, on some sort of drug or something. But I think that a few of them, it kind of opens up their third eye, and they can kind of see stuff that other people can't, and it's not stuff that they're making up.
They believe it.
Well, yeah, but they'll act like something's gonna happen, or they'll see something over in some area, and a few minutes later, something might happen. I mean, it's just really it's really freaky.
Wow.
Because they get all freaked out, and they're you know, they start saying something's gonna happen or this is gonna happen, and something does. I mean, it's really
in that area.
How do they know?
My grandmother used to see my grandmother when she was dying in the hospital would see my grandfather come in and talk and have conversations with him, and I said, "Who are you talking to?" She said, "Well, that's just Pa. Just say hi to him. You know, he's right there. He's right there."
Yeah, I've had that experience.
I work with a guy. I mean, you know, I do private stuff at homes and stuff, and I work with a guy who's seeing like his brother that died like 10 years ago.
Having a full conversation.
He's like, hey, he's like pointing to him. He's like sitting there and he's pointing. He's like, do you see Adam? And I'm like, who's Adam? He's like, it's my brother. I'm like,
yeah.
You know, what do I say? You know. And
yeah, I worked for hospice for 8 or 10 years, and I had a few different patients that were having full conversations with somebody on the other side, you know. And he goes, "I'll be right with you." He'll like look. This one time he looked up at me and he goes, "I'll be right with you. I'm just finishing up this conversation." And then he just like had the full conversation, and he goes, "Okay, well, and you know, God bless you and goodbye." And then he would turn towards me, just like somebody's right there, you know. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, well, I used to work in a cadaver lab, and you know, there was one day, you know, there was 3 of us in there, you know, and we had a cadaver just sitting there on the table, and it just like moved its arm. Just moved its arm. I mean, and we all just kind of like left.
Yeah, well, didn't you think the guy was still alive, man? You should have went and helped him. Holy shit, I thought you were a doctor. What are you doing leaving him there?
Alive? It was, the guy had been dead for like 6 days or something, you know?
Well, that used to happen. People sometimes go into a comatose state, and then they do come back alive again. It's weird, but that happens.
He was cold. We pulled him out of like the refrigerator, so...
How far did it move? Were you all right on him?
We were, well, you know, we were probably like 10 feet away from him, and just like moved its arm, and then just like dropped it on the table.
So did he lift it up, or did it like just kind of move off of him and then onto the ground, or?
He like moved it up and then just dropped it on the table.
With a clunk.
That's not even one of the responses that happens with dead bodies that I've heard of.
No,
I've heard of that before. Cadavers move, don't they?
Yeah,
sometimes?
but not their arms like that, though. Not lifting their arm and dropping it. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah. Well, after like they can still move a couple hours, they might twitch and stuff like that. But after you've been in the basically a walk-in refrigerator for a couple of days, you don't move. Well, you're not supposed to. Yeah.
How long did you guys leave the room for? Did you go back at all, or did you wait till the next day?
No, we went back. We took a really long lunch, and then we were like to try to forget about it. And then we all walked in kind of slowly.
Did you pick the arm back up and put it back on him?
Well, it didn't fall. I mean, we usually just leave the thing is we leave the arms next to him. We don't put them on top.
Why don't you just attach them so that you don't have to worry about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was still attached, but I'm just saying that his arm wasn't on his, across his chest. It was, we just leave them next to their side so they don't fall. Well, this one lifted up and just fell down again.
Oh. That's freaky.
Oh.
What were you guys doing with the cadavers? Were you in medical school or?
No, we prepare them for different people, companies that want to use them for whatever reason. We'd take them in. Get him ready to.
You stab him, we slab him.
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus, are you there? I don't know if he's there. Marcus. That's weird because he hasn't said a word, but it shows that he's on.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I just muted my mic.
Okay.
I was listening to the stream to see how it sounded. It sounds good.
We're almost out of time here. I wanted you to. You had something to say about Pokemon or something.
Who, me?
Yeah, didn't you say you wanted to? Or was that?
That was me. We already talked about Pokemon.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, we got 5 minutes left. This was cool, man. I like this show. The experience. We're running out of time, though. If anybody wants something to say in the last few minutes, go for it.
I just wonder if anybody's seen any other type of ghost or anything like that.
Oh, geez, I've seen all kinds of them. That's like we could keep going on another show here. I've seen shadow people. Like I've seen a shadow dog.
Told you one time
seen
all suck very
all
badly.
kinds of shadow people around this haunted clock that we have. Actually, we have a haunted grandfather clock.
The most.
I used to see the. It's really odd. I don't know why they would do this, but I would see they just wave their arm in front of the door. I don't know if you guys have seen something like that.
Oh my God! I've seen one time. I seen a hand actually pulling weeds out and throwing them on the side of the. On my front yard, pulling out of the sidewalk weeds. Just a hand, and then it disappeared.
Yes. Well, see, I was at like the end of a. There was no way this was possible because I was like the end of a hallway, and this arm would show up in front of the door. But it was impossible for someone to stand there because they would have been like in the wall.
But you know it's all special effects. You know special effects.
So where did the arm's coming from? Nowhere. It's just waving and then it just disappeared. You see like a face. You see like a face and you're like, there's nowhere for them to hide. It just shows up.
Very special effects. Very fake, you know.
Yeah.
What happened? So after the priest went around and did the salt, what became of it? Did
it help? Actually did help. Yeah, and we were able to go upstairs and sleep in the bedrooms upstairs after that, and nothing. And we didn't have any more activity there at all. It worked.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to finish that story. I needed to know what happened.
Yeah.
So does the salt work for like aliens too, or
I don't know. That's a good question. Because I've had like stuff like that happen too, so I don't really know if that works or not. But I would say it'd probably be a good thing to do, nonetheless, because maybe it might work. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe they use sugar. I don't know.
With all the stuff you've seen, I'm surprised you don't carry that salt with you all the time.
I make my own. Any kind of salt works. Rock salt works really good. Even just this kind you throw in your driveway works great.
You know damn right I have that fucking shit just because of you.
You are a demon. Yeah, that's a good point though. Salt, yeah, that's what you use. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah.
I'm playing the
spooky show.
I'm playing the exiting music. It's from an old band I was in. It's a song called Worm Vomit. And it's about tequila. It's kind of a spooky, creepy song too. I got lots of it. See you guys next week.
Good night, everybody.
All right, good night.
Someone's with me. Have a meal for free. words are rolling out of society is a pile of shit. The words are rolling out of I eat society. I puke it out. I said it out my opposite. All the kids out man. You get out man. You get out man.
I don't remember eating that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be playing all night long anyway. Good night and good morning.
Come on, yeah. It feels so good, yes, it feels so fine. Lovely little lady, always on my mind. She gave me loving every night and day. I'm never gonna leave her, never going away. I need someone to love me. Yeah, you know she makes me feel alright. Yeah. I need someone to love me. Love me every single night. You feel me? I feel so happy since I met that girl. When we're making love, you know it's out of this world. It feels so good to know that she's on mine. I'm gonna love that woman till the end of time. I think that's how much to live for. Love me till the end of time.
America, America, America. Break the neck of this apartheid.
This apartheid system is Nazism, Nazism, Nazi. This apartheid system is Nazism, Nazi, them a Nazi. This apartheid system is Nazism, Nazi, them a Nazi. 1945, Nazi war in Europe. Today, 1985, Hitler on a rise in South Africa.
America, America, America.
I say,
break the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America.
You got to
break the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America.
I say,
break the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America.
I say,
break the neck of this apartheid.
Nazi war in Europe. Today, 1985, Hitler on a rise in South Africa.
America, America, America.
I say,
break the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America.
You got to
break the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America.
I say,
break the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America.
You got to
break the neck of this apartheid.
You don't have the right to shoot the children. You don't have the right to shoot your children, I say. 'Cause black and white, we are all the same. 'Cause black and white, we are all the same.
Yeah, that's what I said. Can you dig it?
America, America, America.
I say,
break the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America.
You got to
break the neck of this apartheid. America, America,
Yeah.
break the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America.
children, I
break
say.
the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America. Break the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America.
I say.
Break the neck of this apartheid.
Can you dig it?
America,
I say,
break the neck of this apartheid. America, America, America. Got to break the neck.
I try to clear the red from out of my eyes. I try to forget you, but you hypnotize. need you to keep me rolling. I try to fuck you, but you always deny me. I need you to keep me rolling. I try to stay good, not too nice. I need you to keep me rolling. But you know I must do that, I don't want no fight. I need you to keep me rolling. To keep me rolling.
Listener discretion is strongly advised. There is adult, mature, and possibly immature content. Well, as a matter of fact, we're way out of line. Please take us to your leader.
Welcome to the Monster Castle Radio Show. For the extreme paranormal listener. And here is your host, the Wolfman, Mike.
Let's hear some rock and roll, baby, yeah!
Good evening, and welcome to Monster Castle Paranormal. How you guys doing tonight?
Excellent. I'm doing fine.
I got Walt on here with me and Darren, right? I believe.
Yep. Walt here, yes, sir.
Yeah,
And we keep stepping on each other. Go ahead, Darren.
the original Flat Earth Head himself.
How are you doing, sir?
Excellent.
Sounds like you're getting over this crud everybody's fighting.
I just got it today, man. I'm all stuffed up. Yep.
It is bad business. It's going around for sure. Everybody I know has had it or fighting it or trying to get over it. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from because it's all over the world, man. Like,
Yeah,
wow.
literally.
It's global.
We could do a whole show on that, but that would definitely derail anything flat. Although,
it's global, man. Global.
It's global, but it's planal. How about that? It's across the plane.
Yeah, okay. I knew you'd like that if I said it's global. Yeah.
Darren, have you managed to stay well through this madness that everybody's trying to avoid?
Oh, yeah.
Good, man. Stay healthy.
I've been sleeping a lot. It helps.
That does. Hibernating and staying away from it.
Yep. Anyways, we have news?
I don't know. My news guy is sick. He's sick too. Adam's sick, so we're going to skip the news, I think.
Hey, I got a story.
Okay.
You want to run the sound?
Okay, hang on a second.
Give me the news.
Hang on, we're doing it. I gotta crank the volume here. I wasn't ready to do that. Okay.
Sorry.
And here's the news with Darren Hagel.
All right. An 800 million year old woman found and looks just decades old. She was found in September of 1969, but this came out this year on January 9th. And some miners found her 70 feet under the surface in a marble coffin. And it's an incredible story. I don't know. I think the scientist is still alive. Let me read this here. This is an alien woman, and she was preserved inside a stone-like capsule with liquid inside. The liquid would have been studied and eventually found to be regenerating. Although it didn't bring the woman back from death, it kept her looking young. Therefore, the scientist probably found this out, hid the info about it, and kept it for himself. And there's a picture of her. It's found in the village of, I can't even pronounce this, Rivchik-Tisselskago in the Kemerovo region is where the very strange burial was discovered. During the stripping of work at a coal mine in the core of the coal seam, which lies at a depth of over 70 meters, this miner discovered a marble casket of amazingly accurate mechanical manufacture. The casket was brought to the surface, and workers began to open it by pecking at the edges of its fossilized putty. Not so much from the blows, but from the effects of the solar heat, the putty melted into a clear liquid and flowed. It was a shock to all who saw it. The coffin was filled to the brim with a pink-blue crystal liquid. It lay in a slim, unusually beautiful woman who looked about 30, with fine European features and a large, wide-open blue eyes. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, sir. That is crazy.
That's crazy creepy.
Where was this again?
It's in Russia. It happened in '69, but they didn't release it until last week.
Wow.
At her head was a black rectangular metal box, rounded at one end, something that looked like an old cell phone of approximately 25 to 10 centimeters in size. After about 10 to 15 hours, the coffin was open for all to see. The whole village came to see the wonder.
That's freaky.
I'm going to put this on. I'll put this on the Twitter.
Hashtag 47Talk, everyone, in Twitter.
There'll be a second. So that's my news that I thought was interesting.
That's very interesting. I haven't heard that. I used to keep up with quite a bit of the whole...
100 million.
What?
That's a 800 million year old coffin. That's the depth it was found.
Oh, wow.
That's a long time ago. If it's
now, how
true,
far down would that be? Just wondering. Do you have a clue?
They said it was 70 feet down.
I remember back
when they were
then.
mining.
I was just little back then.
You're a little guy back then.
I was just a little Cub Scout. Wow, that's a long time ago.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, where do you put that?
Where did you find the article? What site was it on? Oh, I guess
I'm going to post it.
Okay,
I'm going to post it here.
And we've
There's
got
a bunch. It's all over the place. You can find it all over.
God of Thunder.
Okay.
God of Thunder was first in our chat room on Spreaker, and Your friend, is it Rob from Iron Realm Media?
It's Rob. How you doing, Rob?
Shout
Glad
outs to
see you
Rob
out there.
in hashtag 47 Talk. Yeah, Darren's posted that now. UFO sightings daily. Wow, that's cool, man. That's incredible. I just can't believe that.
The cool stuff is the blue liquid. I mean, God, if they would have just saved it, you know. Where is it now? I'd love to go over and see it. There's a picture of the coffin and the woman, but it was so deep. I guess they figured it was like, you can't even say it without laughing. 800 million years old.
Yeah, I know. That's the part that just keeps.
Yeah. Oh. We lost some Skype problem. He'll come back. I think Jeff's adding in right now. Damn Skype. Uh-oh. Okay, I've lost everyone. Skype crash. This has happened before. We dropped everyone. It's all right. It'll come back. I just got to do something here. Huh. It's connecting back. Come on. Oh, well. So 800... Okay, it's connected. 800 million. Wow, that's incredible, man. That is incredible. Adding back in, I guess. Call dropped. Huh.
Blah, blah.
Okay, we got...
Last inch, and it's humans arrived on the planet.
You guys, your Skype dropped for a second there, so whatever you said the last 2 minutes, you have to repeat it.
Oh, sorry.
That's not your fault.
I
don't know.
The Earth is 4.5 billion years old. That's all I said.
Yeah. They didn't miss much.
No.
They heard the news, right?
Wow.
What?
Did
Elvis
the news
is
get on?
alive?
Yeah, we're on live. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
Hello.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Greetings.
Howdy. Let's get rowdy.
Yeah, it's Jeff the Gray, everyone. Yeah, baby.
Gray today, gone tomorrow.
Right.
Everything seems cool now. It actually lost the feed and everything. Wow, it's back though.
I've never had this kind of issue with my computer, and I had to restart it 3 times.
Yeah, I've had a little problem myself. It may be just, I don't know.
It's
a lot of activity on the network this time of night.
I haven't touched. Yeah, I haven't touched anything. I don't turn off my computer. It stays on 24 hours a day. And normally you just come up to it and it works. Doesn't change anything. No updates, no nothing.
I think it has to do with the NSA myself.
I'm sorry.
It probably has to do with the NSA, I'm thinking.
It is, yeah, probably.
That's what we always say on our show. They're listening in.
It's the angle of the dangle.
Back to that date, though, it's just, again, I've done a lot of research into carbon dating. And I mean, if something has like a half-life of over 30,000 years or more, it's really shot in the dark. I mean, they're hit or miss. I mean, like Lucy, the oldest fossil, or it was at one time the oldest fossil. At one point when they were doing the carbon dating, and I'm just generalizing. I don't want to I'd have to look it up. But it was kind of like one of these things where her hip bone was, however many million years old, but her neck bone came back, just a couple of centuries old. And like literally one of her bones came back from last week, kind of literally that ridiculously near in the timing. And of course they redate another section and it's as old as the other section that's old. So it's getting to a date that old. I just really want to see this. I definitely want to look into that more. That's a crazy.
How old do you believe the Earth is?
Man, that's what I'm still working on. I mean, I'm not one of these that follows the whole Big Bang Theory, obviously, because it's just not what I see, but we'll get into that in a moment. But definitely I'm not one of these who thinks the Earth is what I know some of the dead set creationists put it at, like 6,000, 7,000 years old or whatever. I don't think
that's totally believable. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
Isn't there a museum where there's dinosaurs and people together? It's like down in the South.
There are. Now that
Have
being
you
said,
been to one?
I have not, but I have seen. My brother has a picture he took of a fossil footprint somewhere out in the West where he lives out there in Arizona. That you can go out there and they have the footprint of the dinosaur with the human footprint in it. So make of that what you will. He's seen it himself with his own eyes and taken the picture of it, amongst other footprints in this like area where you can go. They'll take you out there on a tour.
Well, you saw the Land of the Lost.
TV again, believable, undeniable truth. Undeniable. That is awesome.
There's also those carvings from Central America or South America, it's Central America, where they have dinosaurs and people together in these old stone carvings.
Right.
Have you seen those?
No.
Well, that's pretty cool
I have
stuff.
not personally, but I know what you're referencing. I just haven't seen it myself. I took a trip out that way like in 2010, I guess, and we had to choose the sites we would go see, and so I wanted to see the Grand Canyon more than anything else. So we spent a day there, and it was quite breathtaking, overwhelming. It's not an experience you can even explain to someone until you're there. It's quite amazing. And then we wanted to go to Sedona, to some of the areas out there, some of the vortices and some of the rocks out there. We went up on Bell Rock. We went up on Snoopy Rock. So we didn't make it to some of the glyphs and stuff out there that we could have went to see.
Walt,
I like Snoopy Rock.
Yeah, man. Sedona, Snoopy Rock. It's awesome. It's crazy looking. It looks just like Snoopy laying back on his top of his dog house.
I live about an hour and a half away from the. Yeah.
God
I'm
of
in
Thunder's
Phoenix,
asking if you've been to Shell Beach.
I've been there.
No, I haven't, man. We're still looking for it. That's good. I love that. This guy knows what's going on.
Been
What's
there a
that
few
mean?
times, man. Grew up going there.
Where is it?
It's in California.
Why is he
I
asking?
think he's referencing it's a movie called Dark City from the 80s. Well, I guess 90s really. And long story short, they're all looking for in this place called Shell Beach. They have memories of going on vacation there, and it turns out it's all been implanted by these controllers who reset their reality every night, and they're floating on a disc in space, interestingly enough. That being said, I do not subscribe to the fact that we're floating on a disc in space in any way.
How do you see the Earth? What is your model?
At this point, my model leans to the infinite plane, or at least it's hard to explain. It really is. Okay.
We have time.
There's a lot of maps. You guys may be familiar with some of the old maps of Atlantis, some of the old maps of Lemuria, and everything is set up in these rings. The cities, these islands, these continents are all set up in rings. Have you seen these maps? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Again,
the ancient maps.
Right. Well, we found some. There's one from a newspaper that was found in Hawaii that is allegedly from a guy who found it in a Tibetan monastery, dated at about 10,000 years old. And the map is what is classically called the Flat Earth map, the UN symbol, which is the map that a lot of people claim to be the Flat Earth map. I have a lot of problems with that map, but it's in the center of this big ring. Like we have been told that Antarctica is the ring of ice around our little flat area. But outside of that Antarctica ring, there are these other, at least 25 to 30 continents, some of them as big as America. And we've also got a new unvetted map that just recently hit the community. No one has been able to verify where it has come from yet. That's the only problem. But it also shows lands outside of the Antarctica ring.
So you think the Earth is way bigger than what we think it is?
Well, I think that where we live, the area that's called Earth, is, pretty much similar to what we're shown in these flat Earth maps. Like I say, I have a lot of problems with it because of some issues with sunset and sunrises, some issues with just land sizes. I mean, on some of those maps, Russia and Australia are the same size, and that just doesn't work out. But that's one of the things, like my guys, my little group, Iron Realm Media, we're all trying to work that out. We have guys in Australia. We have guys up in Canada. We have guys in London. And we have guys trying to triangulate and work out sizes and work out, how big this thing really is.
Australia.
Go ahead.
Australia's a lot bigger than most people think.
We're figuring that out. Yeah, we are figuring that out.
Isn't it as big as America? North America?
The guy that I'm talking about, he actually is really truly trying to work on those measurements. He's got a method he's worked out, and he's working on that. I don't want to divulge too much and get somebody else on this when he works it out. But I mean, on some of the maps, it's bigger than America and the whole continent of North America. I mean, it's just the sizes don't work out. The angles of sunrise and sunsets that we're getting reported on timeanddate.com and things like that. Now that's going back to then trusting a website or trusting a phone setting. We've all really trying to go back to analog devices, real compasses. I got one for Christmas, real sextants. I got one for my birthday. We're trying to go back to stuff that we know is working accurately and not being hampered or worked with or being just interfered with all the electromagnetic interference. I took my phone compass and just walked around my house, and as I got closer to the TV or closer to the computer, it made it move and do weird shit. So I mean, there's highly sensitive things in there that can definitely cause that compass to give you some bad settings. I mean, some bad readings. So we're trying to work out the sunsets and sunrises.
What have you worked out? I mean, in your mind, what specifically? Let's get into some specifics about why.
Well, that's
you think
the thing that has actually been happening lately. We have some guys in the community who have taken that model of a sun that rotates around a flat area, which, again, was some issues with it. They took that model and they introduced something that no one had actually done in any of these little models that people have tried to create. They actually introduced the atmosphere. They introduced it in a program which actually is designed for all these, it's AutoCAD. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. It's for high detailed vector programs. NASA builds shit with it. I mean, it's a very detailed vector program. And so when you introduce atmosphere into that and throw that sun into it, suddenly all these things that people question, like how can a sun set on a flat Earth? Well, there it goes. It does that. And how can star trails work on the southern southern pole, and I'm using air quotes there, the southern pole. How can that occur over Polaris, over the North Pole, and occur at the South Pole like people report and take pictures and videos of? Well, when you throw the atmosphere into this equation, it really does make it all work. And again, visual aids would help here a lot. But imagine this. Imagine the atmosphere is filled with all these millions of little tiny drops of water. Well, think about what a drop of water does. You've seen those pictures where it's a drop of water on a leaf, and on the other side is a bug that's magnified so you can see its face, literally, and that kind of thing. It's a million, billion little tiny magnifying glasses floating in the air at all times. So somebody took magnifying glasses, literally simple stuff. It's Rob Skiba, shouts out to Rob Skiba, took these magnifying glasses and taped them up to some edges of a flat table with a flat area, flat surface, took a picture of a horizon of a skyline where the Chicago skyline, there's a lot of controversy on that picture that you can see it 60 miles away, proven flat. And other people say, no, there's so much disappearing that proves the ball. Well, he takes this flat table with the flat glass lens and moves the camera away flat, and suddenly there's the effect of the curve, quote unquote, going over the horizon. And he also took that same thing and worked out another issue that we've been having, is how does the sun shine up on the bottom of clouds as it goes into a sunset? that just doesn't work out in a flat model. Well, suddenly when it goes through this magnification process, it flips it up onto the bottom of this makeshift cloud he's created. So we're realizing that the atmosphere is really, it's really been the answer we've looked for this last year and a half. It solves a lot of the problem with star trails. It solves the problem with sunsets and sunrises, why we can't see these things so far away, how the actual illusion of the ship disappearing over the horizon, or why only half of the tower is visible in the distance. And again, visual aids would answer and help this a lot. But again, this is all stuff we're trying to work out with that kind of homemade, jury-rigged, fix-it-yourself, repeatable science. And that's the thing. You can go to your house and make this setup, watch his video. You can make this little setup and see the effect yourself and see that it does exactly what the sun does every day. I'm sorry, you had a question?
I was just going to have you start at the beginning. When you grew up, you were a NASA fan, right?
Indeed, sir. I watched the first moonwalk at age 2 and watched everyone after that. Loved it. Intended to be an astronaut. Did the whole, I took the hard classes. I took the physics. I wound up derailing that, got into biology in college and wound up being a chemical biology major. But that was my intention going into school, was to head into some type of field that would get me at least close to astronauts, not being one if I couldn't be one. And
what did you do with your biology degree?
It just the area I got lost in is really more a research area, and where I was at the time, there was not a lot of money and grants being given out to it. I did a little research on the coast for a little while, and there's not much going on down here anymore. The BP oil spill pretty much destroyed the Gulf Coast as far as the marine life. Well, that's a whole other show again. We don't want to get off on.
No, specifics are good. We can go there.
That whole thing was something that occurred that I was part of here and saw it from one viewpoint, I guess, and then going back and researching it from a different viewpoint, of looking at this from. I'm sorry, what?
The Gulf Coast hasn't recovered at all?
There are albino shrimp with no eyes being caught on a regular basis. There's malformed sea life all over the place. The cortisol, I can't remember the name of the chemical they spray to clean up the oil, but at the time they sprayed it, there were hundreds of doctors and scientists that were just outraged because it wasn't an oil absorbent. It was a neurotoxin. And basically these doctors and chemists and scientists all signed this petition saying that if the American government allowed this company to spray this chemical into the Gulf Coast, they were essentially starting the largest experiment on a neurotoxin that's ever been done on a population on the Gulf Coast. Because, basically we live off of that down here. We live off of it with the oil industry, obviously, but the fishing, the shrimping, the crawfish industry, it's huge here, and it's pretty bad what's going on with it. It's out there. You can look it up and research it.
I want you to tell us what you know.
Well, that's basically what I know, that right now it's the repercussions are still being felt all these years later. Financially as well. There's lots of people that are still fighting for their livelihood. They got destroyed when their livelihood is gone. The fishing, the shrimping.
Has the numbers bounced back at all?
I don't have the numbers. I know the industry here, as far as the oil field, is definitely not. But that has more to do with the political side of things. Again, I'm not the political guy.
That thing could start leaking again any time, can it? It's kind of precarious.
Precariously, yes, sir. What they did to stop it is not a permanent fix. It could happen at any second. And that's that part of it. The fact that it could happen again is the part that's really ridiculous. The fact that they did this chemical spray on us was bad enough, and what it's done to the water supply down here. Not the water supply, the water table, the the marine life, it's definitely made impact.
So you think the oil, the stuff they sprayed, is worse than the oil itself?
Oh, it was much worse, much worse.
Go ahead,
It was
Wolfman.
definitely a.
Yeah.
It was a neurotoxin. That's what it was.
Hey, it is getting up time for a break here, for our first break. So, and I have a question for the chat room first. Do you believe there is a dome that covers the Earth?
As far as us living in a terrarium with a bowl sitting over the top of us, no, I don't think that's the model at all. I think there is a firmament that's more of an area up there that is either electromagnetic in nature or more, liquid, actual. Perhaps a fourth phase of water. You know, we have steam and liquid and gas. Well, it's a fourth phase of water that's more leaning into some kind of electromagnetic, cymatic. Again, visualization is really important in all of this. There are videos out there of stars. I have a friend down in Australia who just got a P900, which is quickly becoming the globe killer, the P900 camera. And he's done some star videos that pretty much, are matching all the other ones that we've seen people put up. And I mean, we always get this whole you can't believe a video on YouTube if you won't believe NASA videos. And yeah, you're correct. Don't believe what I post. Research what I post. But I know this guy. I've known him for 2 years now, and he bought a camera and he posted this video. So I can say I know that is now a video I can trust. I made my own sun video, so I know the sun travels away and across the sky and doesn't go down, and it changes sizes as it leaves us, because that's something I did out there on my own. And that's really what we want people to do, is to go out and do these experiments for themselves, to go out and look at these things for themselves. But I've yet to see evidence of a glass dome over us. So that's where I'm at on the glass dome.
All right, thanks for that. And we're going to play a song by The Refused now. Let's go crazy, all right. Some rock and roll, baby, yeah.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to get through this thing called life. And make the word life, that means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you there's something else. The afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night. So when you call up the twinkling of the hills, you know the one. Doctor, everything will be alright. Instead of asking him how much of the time is left, ask him how much is in your mind. Because in this side, things are much harder than the afterworld. And this side, you're on your own. And if the enemy tries to bring it down, you're crazy. Rock that door.
wow, I love it. Darren, where do you get these groovy songs, man? That was awesome, man.
Thanks, Wolfman.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Boog Boy.
Let's go crazy.
Let's shout out to Boog Boy and hashtag 47 Talk. Also, you have another friend there. What is his name here? Man. And there's Nighthawk, Stabby McHugs, and Stabby McHugs. You like that? and there's another one of your guys here, Josh from Iron Realm.
Josh, one of my buddies. Well, they're all my buddies out there, but yeah, Josh and Rob are definitely part of Iron Realm.
How many flat earthers are there?
Well, we're trying to get that number together, actually. Just on our site, we're trying to get something where people can check in and show where they are. But, people are so worried about online identity and that kind of stuff. It's probably going to be a moot point if we ever do and get that working on our site. I don't know if people want to go, hey, here I am, government, But there's 14 million YouTube videos right now about flat Earth. If that helps with a number. That's the last time someone did a search and did a video about how many were being posted. There's a guy, Mark Sargent, out there who does a lot of these statistical type things that keeps up with, how many pilots, how many engineers, how many gunners, how many people that are, stepping up and saying, hey, yeah, this is definitely not adding up on a ball. We need to look at it and see what it is. And that's mostly what we're really trying to do. What we've been presented as evidence of the ball is really, it's really not as set in stone and figured out thousands of years ago and all the things that people think. Just if you go back and look at the research on some of this stuff, I mean, just like the whole Eratosthenes and the well that supposedly proved the sphere so long ago. Well, if you look at that whole scenario, there's a well in a town that they knew at a certain time of the year, at the solstice, the sun would shine straight down this well at noon. So he knew at that point the sun was directly overhead. So 500 miles away, they had I believe, an obelisk in place, or maybe he erected something to measure the shadow. And from that, figured out at that time of day, 500 miles away, that this linked the shadow and this math. And you figure out that, going into this math with the assumption of a sphere, and you do this math, boom, the sun is, I think he got 6 million miles away. Well, there weren't many cell phones back then, and a horse journey of that time, about 500 miles. And you start looking at the reality of this story we've been fed of being the definitive how the Earth was proven a globe so many years ago. And you really start wondering how all this was collated by these guys all these years ago without the technology to communicate across that distance that we have today. And that's just one thing that didn't add up. And if you take that same math and lay it out on a plane, then you get a sun that's about 3,000 miles away. And while I have some problems with that number myself, that is touted in the flat Earth community, I've seen a lot of different heights personally in my videos for the sun. And there's been a lot of problems trying to record the sun. And we had a whole few weeks where we were all doing measurements of sunrises and sunsets with these compasses and trying to okay, it's leaving me at, 270. How's it coming into you? And they're getting a completely wrong angle, and it's just not making sense. And again, when you add the atmosphere, and imagine that if the sun is shining through all this atmosphere, all these millions of little lenses, then it may not be exactly where you're seeing it. And that's, again, a hard thing to explain. I have a camera that's on my roof that's part of a weather weather station that I have that literally does a video of the sun's path across the sky every day. And I've gone out and videoed with time-lapse the sun myself many times. And over these years of doing that, I've caught times where the sun has literally changed position in the sky due to clouds, due to atmosphere, due to, things happening in that. My son has recorded it on his videos. And it's really, like I said, when you start adding the atmosphere into it, again, there's a video. I wish I could show you what a guy does. He throws a
you can
laser
always
beam
add
through
you can always put some
water, and
stuff.
it bends it certain ways. And, oh yeah, I'll send you guys the links for sure.
Hey,
Well,
if the Earth is flat, God of Thunder is asking from the chat room. One would assume that it would spin like a record. So how would you have day and night with the sun in the sky?
Yeah, no, that's one of the first things that was really easy to disprove, as far as my understanding. It was that idea of us being a record and we're spinning. One of the first things that actually was one of the early scientific proofs that the Earth isn't moving at all was done by a couple of guys named Michelson and Morley, and they were trying to measure photons in east-west direction versus north-south direction, and that it should time out differently, and it didn't. And they tried this over and over, and it basically failed every time. And so they determined that the Earth's not moving. A guy named Airy set up a couple of different telescope tubes angled a certain way with the spin of what should have been the spin of the Earth to, again, slow these photons of light down through the telescope to measure them. And they never entered the telescope that way. Again, with lots of complicated math I don't understand. We'll have to talk to Rob. Rob can tell you all about the math there. He showed that the Earth wasn't moving. Planck, the guy who helped figure out some of this subatomic stuff, the Planck level you may have heard of, well, he helped send out these probes to measure the spin of the Earth. And these probes showed that the Earth is not moving, isn't spinning, which caused Einstein to then create his theory of relativity, throwing all these stars and things that weren't registering any motion relative to the Earth so far away that then, okay, well, that's why we're not getting any motion in all these instruments and tests that we're doing, because everything's so far away, then relativity makes it work out that way, which is why that's literally why the theory of relativity was created. He talks about it in a speech he did in Kyoto, Japan in 1922, where he literally says the measurement or the motion of the Earth cannot be measured. Blah, blah, blah. So I created the theory of relativity. And again, you can look that up. It's out there.
Walt.
So no, we're not at record. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
So let's just assume that the Earth is flat. And how do you see it? So you believe it's indefinite?
Again, I don't know that. But evidence
do
of
you
a
believe?
plane that is, I see the infinite plane working better than anything else. That makes more sense to me than a void of infinity that was created from an explosion that created everything from nothing, that's always expanding outward in this ever increasing outward explosion into infinity. Okay, well, what's right past that leading edge of that explosion? Nothingness still that's being pushed away from this leading edge of this explosion? Why are all the stars still the same thousands of years after this explosion? Why has the North Star been our guiding star for centuries if that explosion is causing everything to go outward, contracting away from each other? These are just some of the questions that have made me start doubting.
Let's say that. Why does it matter to you that it gets out? I mean, because it's a big conspiracy, or?
Well, I hate that word so much. I'm a conspiracy realist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Unfortunately, as I dig into these things, I find there's a lot more truth than there is theory. Why is it important? Why does it matter if the Earth's flat, round?
Yeah, we're still living. We're still doing
We're
stuff.
doing our thing. That's part of it. We're still doing our thing. We're still living. Well, look around. Look at the madness that has occurred just because Trump got elected. Now, I don't back anybody. I don't vote. It's a game. It's a show to keep us distracted. Bread and circuses. I don't know if you know that term at all.
No, what's it mean?
Basically, in the Roman days, when the populace would get unruly and start waking up and realizing that their leaders were taking advantage of them in every possible way, they would either create a shortage of bread or they would create some crazy new circus, like, throwing Christians to lions or burying people up to their heads and running across them with these big blades or whatever kind of mad entertainment, football, MMA, whatever, to distract people. Sorry, I got off on a rant there. That's why it's important, because people were meant for more than going to work from 9 to 5 to earn fake debt paper to pay for plastic crap with a life expectancy to run out, so you have to go create more debt paper to buy more plastic crap that means nothing, that doesn't advance you spiritually, doesn't enrich you in any creative way, basically traps you in a rat race maze chasing a piece of cheese that you already have. And that's why I have created the website with that group of guys you're seeing on the chat there. That's why I do this crazy, hey, the earth is flat thing. Because when I finally saw that huge of a lie being perpetrated every day from birth to death, if they have told you a lie about where you live and what your existence really is, then they can tell you anything. They can convince you that you have to buy things. They can convince you that you have to pay taxes. They can convince you that any of all this election crap matters. They can convince you that genetically altering our food so that you can't reproduce your own plants with heirloom seeds is a good idea. I mean, again, I know I sound really way out in conspiracyville, but as you dig through this thing, that to me is the eye-opener. If you can look around and realize that where we've been told that we live isn't where we've been told, isn't what it is, then you can see that most of what you're shown through your daily existence is just a lie to keep you being a good little worker bee and paying your taxes. And
what's wrong with that, Walt? I mean, it's a pretty good life we have here.
For you,
yeah,
I'm sure, but not everyone has that life. Not everyone has access to the things they're supposed to have. Trust me. I live in a very downtrodden part of the world now because of the economy and the oil field. It's bad here. The town I live in is basically dying out. Stores close here almost on a weekly basis. And so that equality thing that everybody supposedly is a God-given right or a liberty-born right or just a basic human right, this control scheme has convinced you that you don't have a right to these things unless you buy them or earn them or submit to a tax system. If people were doing these things for themselves, if people were, figuring out a way to make their own food, grow their own food, instead of figuring out a way to rely on a grocery store system, that if, let's say the power grid goes down. I don't know if you guys know the power grid and how it all works, but literally it could be collapsed with one hacker. If that goes down, most people are literally three meals away from starvation in their house.
Could I
the
interrupt for a
lifestyle
second?
we're living in is madness. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out how this all ties into whether or not the Earth is, what shape it is. I mean, this is. I'm missing the connection here
because the lie is that huge. It's that.
So big. What would you say? For example, let's take a Stephen Hawking, a brilliant man who comes up with ideas through his own deductions and science, and why is there people not out there debunking him? And why is it just that he's the biggest bullshitter in the world and no one can out bullshit him? And I'm just, where does that have you had a chance to talk with him about these these
I
theories
would
on
love to talk
the
to
shape
him,
of the Earth?
or I would love to talk to Hawking. I would love to talk to him. I would love to talk to Neil Tyson deGrasse. Do you know? Neil deGrasse Tyson, Neil Snake and deGrasse. Sorry. Do you know he will not debate a flat Earth? He will not justify our silliness because it is so ancient, backwards thinking that he will not justify it. But he will go on Twitter and debate a rapper, and have his nephew create a rap battle song, and then go on a comedy news show and drop a mic to show people that this is gravity. That's what he did as a response to Flat Earth. Not a logic debate where he could easily blow our silliness out of the water, because this is obviously silliness, but he won't sit down with one of us and debate us. Even at my little, I'm a nobody with a couple hundred viewers or whatever, and he won't even talk to my level, let alone someone who's like a DeBay or a Mark Sargent or one of the big quote unquote names in the field. No, he goes on a comedy show to show that's the scientific answer to this. And again, it matters. Why? Well, if from the time you're born you were convinced that you were flying through an infinite void on a little cinder, clinging to life that could be wiped out in an instant by an asteroid, by the sun supernova, what else? I mean, any of these huge cosmic catastrophes that has been, we barely avoided the Shoemaker-Levy-9 comet. Thank goodness that it hit Jupiter instead of us. And it's back to that whole fear control system that, unfortunately, that's what a lot of people are driven by, is a fear of starvation, a fear of status, a fear of social acceptance, a fear of being looked at like a lunatic flat earther. Isn't it interesting that has become, in like 5 speeches over the last year by a lot of different government officials, the go-to phrase, when they're talking about climate change or they're talking about anything? It's like, oh, well, they must have been founded members of the Flat Earth Society. Why is that the knee-jerk? Why has that become the go-to phrase for cuckoo, for crazy? Programming, indoctrination.
So these high altitude aircraft that go up into the aircraft and then they do a dive towards the Earth, and they experience a zero gravity, and then they have liquid water, and it forms a spherical shape. How does that not correlate to the the shape of the oceans, around the Earth? Why are the oceans around the Earth not following the same laws of physics as a zero gravity, mass of water?
You mean?
Can you explain
so
that
you're
one?
saying that, I'm just trying to make sure I understand your question. So a ball of water that does the sphere thing, like in the ISS videos or in the plane or whatever.
I'm not talking in
that
space.
Sphere of water. No, I mean, but that, even like you say, the vomit comment they use. I know what you're talking about.
Right.
So that sphere that happens should equate metric tonnages. Now we're talking metric megatons of water being held to a ball that's spinning 1,040 miles per hour at the equator, which creates a centrifugal force that should sling that water off, but it's being held in place by gravity. Gravity that holds water curved, water that always finds its level, water that we use in levels to make sure something is level, holds that water curved at 1,000 plus miles per hour spin, doesn't fling it off into space because of gravity. Okay. Now, that gravitational force should be attracting things together. That's how the Earth was formed into a sphere. Okay, then why isn't every grain of sand on the beach attracting to its little cousin next to it and making little planets on the beach, which then become big planets, and planets are everywhere? Well, that doesn't happen for the same reason I can't walk over to a 50-ton rock and stick a marble to it and have it stick to that boulder, because it's going to fall to the ground, because the gravity well of the Earth is the bigger attraction. Okay, then why is our moon still orbiting us? Shouldn't the bigger attraction of our sun have pulled that moon away thousands of years ago? The moon, which incidentally has always had the same side facing us, and yet is pockmarked with what are called craters from asteroid impacts, which actually couldn't have made it to the moon because our gravitational pull would have taken all those asteroids away from it, because we're the bigger gravity attraction. So you can't have it both ways. It can't work. Gravity works this way here, but it doesn't work that way.
Wait a minute. Walt, the moon is older than the Earth, and it was pulled here late. Those craters were formed there before it came into the Earth's orbit.
No, I thought the Earth was part of the. I mean, the moon was part of the Earth that got sheared off with a collision from.
It's the latest evidence has proven that the moon is older than the Earth.
Interesting. Well, that's something I need to look into. I definitely do. Those craters that you look at up there, have you ever noticed that they're all perfectly circular?
Yeah, not all of them.
There's no side impacts. Well, show me the one that's a side impact, because I look at it nightly and I get to find side impact.
We've noticed though in the imaging, Darren and I have been following Richard C. Hoagland's work and other people that do imaging from space, and a lot of these craters have an identical one beside it. There's two identical craters beside each other. Identical. That's weird. I don't know what that means. Do you, Darren?
I have a theory.
No clue. Go ahead. What's your theory?
Okay. Let's just say for a minute the Earth is flat. And in the middle of the area that we're located in, there's a magnetic pole in the middle. I'm not literally a physical pole, but an area that's magnetic in the middle, that's highly magnetic, that every compass on Earth works off of. It really does. And you then surround that magnetic pole with salt water. Well, you're on your way to making a battery. Now, let's say you take a negative charged antipode and you take a positive charged one and you set them in motion in a way that they are electromagnetically, quantumly locked into those areas in a circular motion. And if you've looked at quantum locking or levitation in like cold, like super cold magnetism and any of that, it's doable in a lab. It's easily doable. You can lock a thing into a circular plate and it'll just take that position and keep it and spin and go and go and go. So let's say you have an object that is being put into position from a long time ago, or it courses into position, or it gets pulled into position, or whatever your theory is, and it gets a little too close to that electrically charged area that is being created by this middle electromagnetic pole and the salt water surrounding it. And arcs are then created. If you go look, anywhere someone's doing welding and a metal plate has dust on it, what happens looks exactly like moon craters. If you go look, people have done the experiment after they noticed that and take like a real fine powder and charge it and make it arc out. It makes the moon surface. It's exactly what it looks like. Again, I wish I could show you guys. I could put one in the chat. But definitely it looks exactly like the moons. I think those craters were created by electromagnetic just discharges. That's actually what I think the moon is a type of electromagnetic, negative or positive, I would guess. I guess it would be the negative, and the moon being the positive to the whole system. And if you look at yin and yang symbology and tie that into the sun and moon circling around the magnetic pole, that's a thing that seems to fit with the model. Throw the atmosphere in and you've got a flat Earth model that works pretty damn good.
Hey, do you believe that the Earth the sun and Earth and Moon could possibly be sentient?
Very possible. I've been. I was a big Gaia researcher in my college years, so I've definitely looked into that theory. Yeah, that's interesting and a very interesting theory to throw into the mix. I mean, if this is a Tesla, there's a quote floating around out there. Tesla says that, the Earth's not a planet, it's a realm, and more like a machine. But we know there are organisms out there. I mean, there's plant life, there's sea life that can emit electricity, can emit light. So, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I just thought there's footage. I know you probably know the exact footage I'm talking about from the shuttle when they lost the tether that they were trying to use to gather up electrical charge. And they're filming trying to catch the tether. And there's all these things that at one point was being run through the UFO community as UFO disc type things. But if you look at those little things floating around and compare it to what we're videoing as stars doing their little somatic patterns, they look a lot alike.
Yeah, they debunked that video.
Have they? I haven't seen that debunked.
Yeah.
I have not been a UFO researcher in probably 20 years, man, or 15
They were able to represent or to recreate the same exact conditions and show exactly that it's actually just an illusion of your mind. It's a
Wait, which one are you talking about? The NASA footage or which one? I'm sorry.
Right, the NASA footage that they show where they have the tether and then they have the object behind it. Yeah.
So
they were
that
able to,
footage has been debunked.
Right, that there was nothing there.
Besides the tether? It was still a screwed up experiment. That's for sure.
Wait, so that's what I don't understand. So the whole footage is fake, or just the?
No. They were saying that the UFO is behind this tether, but they debunked it and they actually did the same exact replication of it, and they showed exactly how it could be disproven.
Okay, I'll have to see it. I don't, like I said, I got out of the whole UFO. I used to be deep into it. In fact, I met Hoagland years and years ago at a conference. So it's been forever since I've kept up with that. I just knew that footage was out there and that those whatever floating around things looked very similar. Cymatic star patterns were recording.
Yeah, optical illusion. That's all it was. Trick of the camera.
Wolfman, are we ready for a break? It's 10.
Okay, cool.
I was just lining that up, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that. I didn't want to interrupt the ongoing conversation, but yeah, we are going to hear Queens of the Stone Age. My God, is the sun.
Awesome.
Here it comes, baby. All right.
All right.